My dad forced me into marriage with a female CEO because of a business alliance. She's 168 centimeters tall and never comes home. We've been married for nearly half a year, and I can't even clearly remember what she looks like. But hey, she's loaded. Every month, right on schedule, she transfers me $1 million as living expenses. I'm practically laughing myself to death. A wife who never comes home and piles of cash to spend. Isn't that the dream life? I was out partying with my buddies until 3 a.m. and finally stumbled back home. The moment I flipped on the light, I saw a strange woman sitting right on my bed, looking anything but pleased as she said, "So you finally decided to come home, huh?" I jumped in shock, instantly locked the bedroom door, and reached for my phone to call the cops. From behind the door, her low, calm voice drifted through. "Oliver, don't you even remember who I am?" Still half drunk, I ignored whatever she was saying, fumbling with my phone while shouting, "I don't care who you are. You're dead meat, breaking into someone's private home? Enjoy prison. Oliver, I'm your wife." Oh, wife. My brain snapped out of its drunken haze in an instant, held an emergency meeting with itself, and finally recalled, "Right, I do have a wife. I've been away so much, you seem pretty comfortable living alone. Don't you?" Lily sat on the bed in a dark silk nightgown, her long, pale legs elegantly crossed. The hem of her dress had slipped slightly, revealing a delicate foot that made my whole body itch. No, I only went out with the guys tonight. It's pure coincidence you came back. You've got to believe me. Every single day you've been gone, I've kept this room spotless and untouched. I swear." "Is that so?" Lily lightly pushed up her glasses with a slender finger, the corner of her lips curling into a knowing smile. "You must have had it rough. My dear husband, starting tomorrow, I'll move back in permanently." "Huh? No need." I panicked, waving my hands frantically in refusal. Lily frowned, narrowed her eyes, and her voice took on a slightly threatening edge. "What, you don't want me to come back?" "Of course not," I forced a nervous laugh. "It's just, your office is so far from here. I'm worried you'll get tired from the commute." "In that case," she said smoothly, "you can just move into my place instead." Good grief, it's 37 degrees outside. So why is she saying things that send chills down my spine? Is my perfect married life really ending this quickly? Lily insisted I move in with her. Not wanting to confront her directly, I reluctantly agreed, for now. After showering, I found Lily still awake, patting the bed beside her, clearly signaling for me to lie down. I gave a stiff smile, shuffled over step by awkward step, and lay down beside her with great reluctance. She turned off the lights, rolled toward me, and wrapped her arms tightly around me. Her unfamiliar, intoxicating scent instantly enveloped me, freezing me in place. It's not like we'd never shared a bed before, we did on our wedding night. But she'd been completely drunk, and by the time I woke up the next morning, she was already gone. So this was practically the first time we'd ever been fully awake together in bed. Lily leaned close, gently brushing her forehead against mine, and whispered softly in my ear, "I'm sorry I've been neglecting you all this time." I didn't dare move a muscle, screaming inside, "It's fine, please keep neglecting me, seriously, no problem at all." After a moment of hesitation, I decided to be honest. "Look, I get it. We got married for business, not love. I honestly don't mind that you never come home. You don't have to worry, I'm super easygoing. Do whatever you want outside. Stay away as long as you like. I'm perfectly happy living the way we were. What do you think?" Silence. All I heard was her slow, steady breathing. Convinced she'd fallen asleep, I fumbled in the dark for my phone, planning to text my buddies to brainstorm ways to preserve my post-marriage freedom. But she was holding me so tightly I couldn't wriggle free. Maybe I moved too much. She sleepily tightened her grip and murmured, "Half asleep. Good boy, don't move, your wife's got an early meeting tomorrow." Her lazy, sultry voice nearly made me lose my soul. Glancing at the clock, it was already past 4 a.m. Fine, guess I'll just sleep. I'd planned to have a serious talk with her first thing in the morning. But I slept so deeply I didn't even notice when she left. I was jolted awake by a knock at the door. Opening it, I found a neatly dressed female secretary standing outside. She put away her phone and introduced herself coolly. "Hello, Oliver bro, I'm the CEO's secretary. I've been assigned to pack up your belongings and move them out." "What? Nobody told me about this. For details, please contact the CEO directly." Without another word, she stepped inside and started packing. One by one, movers poured into the room, carrying out my stuff piece by piece. I was furious. Furious that Lily had made this decision without me. And even more furious that these people dared touch my things without asking. I plopped down hard onto my suitcase and yelled at them. "Put everything back down. If you want to move my stuff, you'll have to move me first." The secretary tilted her head, studying me with a hint of confusion in her eyes. Then she turned calmly to the movers and said, "Just move him along with everything else." That little brat. And so, dressed only in my pajamas, I sat stubbornly on my suitcase as the movers hauled me straight to Lily's apartment. When she came home and saw the scene, she froze in surprise. I gave a strained smile, smoothed my messy hair, pressed my right hand against her shoulder, pinning her gently to the wall, and tried, very hard, to keep my anger in check as I said, "Hey, this isn't some CEO romance drama. We're not filming a script here. Before doing something like this, shouldn't you have asked me first?" Lily feigned innocence. "I just want to live with my husband, that's all. Who could possibly object to that?" "No, I mean, if you put it that way, what can I even say?" Just like that, she effortlessly shifted all the blame off herself, leaving me speechless, gritting my teeth in frustration but utterly powerless. And to top it off, she was in a great mood, casually slipping off her coat. I glanced up and was caught off guard by her slender waist, her curves clearly outlined beneath the form-fitting dress. I actually choked, on my own saliva. That body, seriously, it was next level stunning. Hearing me cough, Lily turned her head. "What's wrong?" I quickly averted my eyes from her waist, my face burning hot, and scrambled toward the bathroom like a panicked rabbit. Her flawless, coolly elegant face paired with that irresistible figure created a dangerously alluring aura, so pure yet so forbidden it sent shivers down my spine. I didn't dare look at her again. But the very next second, Lily gave me a bewitching smile, casually undid 2 more buttons on her shirt, and swiftly stepped in front of me, blocking my path. I was trembling with fear. This was absolutely not a situation a naive guy like me could handle. I shrank back like a quail, voice tight with nerves. What are you planning to do?" She tilted her head up, her cool breath brushing against my neck, pressing so close I couldn't help but squeeze my eyes shut. "You tell me," she whispered. "What do you think I'm about to do?" I yelped, shoved her away in a panic, and bolted into the bathroom like my life depended on it. The moment I shut the door, I still heard her soft, resigned chuckle. "Honey, do you really have to treat me like that?" I later told my friend David about it. He burst out laughing right in my face, and insisted he had to take me out tonight to broaden my horizons. I got excited and agreed immediately, furiously tapping my phone screen like I was about to punch a hole through it. At midnight, while Lily was fast asleep, I gently pried her arm off me, changed clothes and slipped on my shoes in the dark, ready to sneak out. But just as I reached for the front door, the living room light snapped on. I froze like a thief caught red-handed, standing there awkwardly, caught in the act. "Where are you going?" Lily asked slowly, her voice dripping with displeasure. Taking out the trash? You believe me, right?" She scanned me from head to toe, her gaze lingering on my freshly groomed face. I felt guilty instantly, my eyes darting around nervously. But then I noticed something unreadable flicker in her eyes. It was just for a split second. Then she turned and walked back to the bedroom, tossing over her shoulder, "Go back to bed, it's the middle of the night, where else would you go?" That kind of vague remark was bound to make someone overthink. And sure enough, I did. Turns out, her "go to bed" really just meant sleep. That night, she didn't even hug me. I was certain she was mad. When I told David, he looked genuinely shocked. "Wait, so your wife really has no interest in you at all?" That hit a nerve. Now I started doubting myself too. Could it be she truly didn't feel anything for me? On a whim, I thought about teasing her a little to test the waters. But then I stopped myself. Even if she did have feelings, I had no idea what to do with them anyway. Forget it. When David heard this, he couldn't resist poking fun. Your wife's that gorgeous. And you're holding back? Seriously, Oliver, you've got some serious self-control. That stung, I snapped. And immediately hung up. At dawn, as usual, Lily got up early for work. I swear she even kissed me lightly on the cheek before leaving. The soft press of her lips against my skin felt so real. I couldn't tell if I dreamed it or not. When I finally woke up properly, her secretary was already sitting in the living room, working. Suspicious, I asked. What are you doing here? She gave me a polite, practiced smile. Ms. Lily instructed me to come. For details, please call her yourself. After washing my face and getting ready to head out, the secretary immediately closed her laptop and stood up to follow me. I turned to her. Where are you going? Whether you go or not isn't really up to you, she replied coolly. And whether I follow you, well, I don't need a reason. Got it. She was here to keep tabs on me. Fuming, I called Lily directly. What the hell are you playing at? You actually sent someone to spy on me? On the other end, she was clearly swamped, but still answered calmly, almost lazily. It's not surveillance, it's accompaniment. Shouldn't you be thanking your wife? I'm not so desperate for company that I need you assigning someone to follow me around. Tell her to go home, now. Lily clearly heard the anger in my voice. She fell silent for a moment, then simply said, Fine. I knew it. Sure enough, moments later, the secretary got a call from Lily. She murmured a few uh-hus, hung up, and turned to me. Lily says you have to be home in 2 hours. Then I saw Lily herself rush over, swapping shifts with her secretary. One left, the other stayed. That's when it clicked. Why make her wait 2 hours before leaving? Because not even a single second alone with me was safe in Lily's eyes. I started to get scared. I quickly texted David. What do I do? I think my wife might be yandere. For once, David was dead serious. He replied instantly. Don't panic. I'm Googling right now. What to do if you marry a yandere wife? A moment later, he sent back. Bro, pray for yourself. And then, almost immediately, another message. This yandere topic's super trending. Think I can turn your story into a web novel for White Dog Channel? I was furious. Can you please just act like a decent human being for once? Lily claimed she'd come all this way just to keep me company. All I could do was nod frantically, didn't even dare say, no. David texted again. Heard Lily's company's been crazy busy lately. Yet she dropped everything just to follow you around. That's how deeply she loves you. Man. I wanted to cry, but no tears came. I locked myself in a mall restroom, reading those yandere wife stories David had sent from White Dog Channel. All I could picture was Lily's hand on my neck, whispering, You'll never leave me, not in this lifetime. I was trembling with fear. I called my dad. Dad, can I get a divorce? He was in the middle of a business meeting. Hearing that, his voice turned icy. Do you really want me to erase your name from the family register? I instantly got the message and switched to full-on flattery. Dearest, hardworking father. No turning back now, I had to face it. When I stepped out of the restroom, I saw Lily leaning against the railing, watching kids dance in the plaza below. She was smiling softly, eyes crinkled, lips curved, her whole face glowing with warmth. I suddenly remembered our first meeting. Two strangers, silent, just exchanging distant glances. At our wedding, we'd both worn fake smiles for the guests. The picture-perfect couple on the outside. Yet we hadn't even properly memorized each other's faces. And yet, she'd still gently fixed my crooked tie and smoothed my messy suit. When I showed up looking like a slob, could someone so gentle, so caring, really be a terrifying yandere? What are you thinking about? Lily walked over and lightly poked my cheek. I was wondering, are you gonna hit me? What nonsense are you spouting? She rolled her eyes. But a second later, as if remembering something, She gave a cold little smile. Then again, maybe I will. David's warning immediately flashed in my mind. Never, ever provoke a yandere. If you do, either she dies, or you do. If you want out, the only way is to make her lose interest in you. So that night, I dug up old interview clips of Lily. She liked intelligent men? Perfect. I started acting dumb, wore a deliberately nasty expression all day. Turning myself into the classic villain from a drama or novel. I figured she'd get sick of me fast. Freedom was so close, rich, single, and totally unchained. Just thinking about it made me giddy. But to my shock, after all my ridiculous antics, Lily didn't pull away, she clung to me even tighter. She even wrapped her arms around me from behind and whispered, "I'm sorry, I haven't been taking good enough care of you." I was utterly broken. What does it take for Lily to finally let me go? Just as I'd resigned myself to fate, deciding to become the perfect, obedient husband, a twist happened. Lily went overseas for a business trip. But the very next day, tabloids exploded with headlines. CEO Lily spends night with suave, mysterious billionaire at luxury hotel. Messages from my parents, friends, everyone, poured in like snowfall. Meanwhile, I was at home, staring at photos of her with that man. Jumping up and down, screaming, "I'm free, ha ha ha." I immediately called my lawyer to ask about divorce procedures. He sounded slightly awkward. "Mr. Huo, maybe finish celebrating first. Then we'll talk?" I was a little embarrassed, but couldn't stop grinning. Ever the professional, my lawyer added reassuringly, "No worries, I'll send you all the details you need shortly." Thank you so much. Honestly, is there anything in this world more thrilling than your wife cheating? And you getting to be the innocent party? Free to walk away from the marriage with your head held high? I called David. "Bro, let's go out tonight, time to celebrate, I'm finally about to taste freedom." But David surprised me by asking, "Are you actually happy, or have you just been so traumatized by your yandere wife that you're seeing things?" I insisted. "Of course I'm genuinely happy. This time, I might actually get a divorce. Or at the very least, it'll give her a reason to never cling to me again." My laughter died instantly the moment Lily appeared before me. Exhausted and disheveled from her trip. She was already back. I quickly hung up the phone. Her eyes were red-rimmed, bloodshot from fatigue, and she stared at me in utter disbelief. When I took a step toward her, she even flinched backward 2 steps. "Were you really serious about what you just said?" The look in her eyes, on the verge of tears, threw me completely off balance. I didn't know what to do. Don't look at me like that. Don't you dare pretend," she cried out. And with that, the tears she'd been holding back finally spilled over. She looked straight at me, voice trembling. "Tell me, were those words real, or just an act?" I was so startled I froze, completely at a loss for words. The disappointment in Lily's eyes only deepened. Finally, she didn't wait for my answer. She turned and stormed out of the house, leaving only the loud slam of the door behind her. I sank onto the floor, dazed and overwhelmed, my mind a tangled mess. David called to check in. I just said, "I don't know anymore." She was crying, actually crying, and asked me, "Were those words really how you feel?" And I don't know. It's so weird, why would she react like that? David sighed. "She's probably 8/10 in love with you, man." I was stunned. Then why was she at that hotel with that handsome guy? "Oliver, are you really that dense? She flew straight back home to find you. That means there's definitely been a misunderstanding. But why would she even love me in the first place? Ask the gods that one. Buddy, seriously." My head was swirling with questions. But one thing had become crystal clear. Lily wasn't a yandere. Just now, she'd been furious, heartbroken even. Yet she hadn't done anything extreme to me at all. But somehow, that realization no longer brought relief. Lily wasn't taking my calls. She wasn't coming home. Not even our parents' pleading made a difference. Her mom sighed. "There's nothing we can do, she's always been this stubborn since she was little." My dad, exasperated, called me. "You're the one who made her storm off, so you fix it. If you can't win her back, just pack your bags and get out of my sight." Oh, and by the way, that whole handsome guy at the hotel thing? Turns out he was just an employee called in for an emergency shift during his vacation. The company's PR team already released a group photo proving it and shut down the rumors. That hit me like a dagger through my last shred of hope. So now, I was 100% in the wrong. Good grief, why is the universe torturing me like this? Lily was dead set on avoiding me. She'd even instructed every security guard at her company to memorize my face and block me. My situation had become, truly, utterly, desperate. Out of options, I thought of one person who might help me see her. Natasha, her secretary. At the lobby of Lily's corporate tower, a guard greeted Natasha warmly. "Ms. Shu, bringing your dad to the office again today?" Standing right beside Natasha, disguised, was me. I nearly fainted on the spot. Natasha pressed down firmly on the silver-white wig atop my head and smiled smoothly. "Yep, taking my dad for a little office tour. I thought we'd slip through unnoticed." Until Lily suddenly rushed past me, turning to the guard and Natasha and saying sharply, "During this sensitive period, absolutely no unauthorized visitors. Natasha, coffee on my desk in 3 minutes. Or don't bother showing up for work tomorrow." A second later, she stepped into the elevator. Natasha bolted toward the cafe. And I? Got instantly flagged by the eagle-eyed security guard. "Lily, you're ruthless." That afternoon, Natasha texted me again. "Lily's meeting a client at the Forbidden City at 4 p.m. No prior appointment means no entry." I pulled in favors from friends and managed to book a room right next to hers. But by 6 p.m., there was still no sign of her. I texted Natasha. She replied, "They're already here. Someone just said they finished their meeting and are about to leave." I panicked and rushed outside, only to catch a glimpse through the window of Lily's car already pulling away. No need to think twice, it was her trick again. On the phone, Natasha was practically in tears. "Mr. Oliver, please, for the love of all that's holy, just go comfort Ms. Lily already. I don't want to pull another all-nighter." At the same time, a text from my dad landed like a guillotine. "Your grandfather's birthday is this Saturday. Bring Lily home for dinner. Don't you dare tell me you two still haven't made up." Just a few short lines, but they sent chills down my spine. I quickly typed back, We've made up. Of course we'll be there for Grandpa's birthday." The moment I put my phone down, cold sweat had already soaked through my shirt. Getting Lily back. That was my absolute top priority now. I asked Natasha for the address of the hotel where Lily was staying. She replied instantly, adding, "Mr. Oliver, I'm risking my life sending you this intel. You've got to give it your all, really go all out." The pressure was crushing, but I couldn't let her down. Gritting my teeth, I replied, "Yeah, I'll give it everything I've got." At 7 p.m., Natasha messaged, "Ms. Lily just left the office." I immediately sprinted from the Forbidden City toward the hotel. But traffic was a nightmare, completely gridlocked, not moving an inch. Just then, another message came through. "Mr. Oliver, Ms. Lily suddenly got called away for a last-minute business trip. She's already on her way to the airport. You should probably head home and wait until she's back before trying again." I froze. "When's she coming back?" I typed urgently. "The 18th. Oh no. The 18th was Saturday. Grandpa's birthday. If I waited for her return, it'd be too late." Without another thought, I flung open the car door and bolted toward the airport. But after running less than 100 meters, I skidded to a halt. Are you kidding me? Running to the airport on foot? Even if I ran all night, I might not make it. Just then, I spotted a shared bike nearby. I scanned the QR code in a flash and pedaled like my life depended on it. Once I hit a clear stretch of road, I flagged down a taxi. I pushed through the crowds, frantic and breathless. But in the end, I still didn't make it in time. Lily was already in the departure lounge, wearing headphones, on a video call with someone. A staff member nearby gestured for me to wait. I nodded, turned around, and leaned against the wall, gasping for air. Suddenly, a pair of gentle hands rested on my back, helping me steady my breathing. I spun around, and there she was, Lily. She'd ended her call, taken off her earphones, and was now frowning at me. But even with that frown, her eyes held nothing but tenderness. "Why were you running so fast?" she asked. "I was scared you'd leave, and I wouldn't get a chance to talk to you." Lily looked slightly exasperated, but she reached for a water bottle, unscrewed the cap, and handed it to me. The early flight already took off. Only then did I notice, the entire lounge was nearly empty. Just her and one other person left. "So, you stayed here, waiting for me?" She nodded. "How did you know I'd come?" "Natasha called me." "Oh," I choked up, completely at a loss for words. Lily tilted her head. "You came all this way, wasn't there something you wanted to say to me?" "I want to apologize. I'm sorry, I had no idea you'd be so worried, so hurt by the misunderstanding. I shouldn't have been happy about the divorce. Seeing you like that, it really tore me up. Is that the truth, or are you just saying it because you need me at Grandpa's birthday dinner on Saturday?" So she already knew about the birthday. "No, it's the truth. It has nothing to do with the dinner. I genuinely want to apologize. I'm sorry I never truly tried to understand how you felt. I misread your intentions and hurt you deeply. You flew over 10 hours just to explain everything in person. And all I did was celebrate the idea of divorce. Okay, let's not bring up that embarrassing mess again. Oliver," she said softly, "since we got married, have we ever actually sat down and had a real conversation?" "No," I admitted, "we haven't." "Then tonight, when we get home, let's finally talk, properly. Honestly? Oh, you don't have to go on that business trip anymore? I've already sent someone else in my place." That night, Lily and I each held a glass of wine. Dressed in pajamas, lounging lazily on the balcony. The night breeze drifted by, lifting a few strands of her hair. Her eyes sparkled like stars, and for the first time, I saw a Lily I'd never known before. Calm, warm, and utterly at ease. She took a sip of wine, then looked at me and said, "To be honest, the first time I met you, I didn't like you, but I wasn't mad either." I chuckled. "What a coincidence, I didn't like you either. You were so cold, I thought we were starring in some CEO romance drama. You were just as bad, wearing those flashy, loud clothes, looked like a multicolored pheasant. That's called fashion." "Fashion? More like pheasant." We both burst out laughing. Neither of us had wanted an arranged marriage forced on us by our families. So when we first met, we'd both gone out of our way to seem as unlikable as possible. But in the end, it changed nothing. Lily went on. "When we first got married, I really didn't want to see you, so I kept using work as an excuse not to come home. But I still felt guilty, so all I could do was send you money." Guilty? That was honestly the happiest time of my life. A wife who gives you money but never shows up. The whole big house was mine alone. I could sleep wherever I wanted, come home whenever I pleased, total freedom. "Really?" Lily hugged her knees, tilting her head to look at me. Her cheeks flushed pink, adorable like a child. "Of course it's true. I actually thought you'd be struggling with, needs. Your mom told me you seemed cheerful on the outside, but were actually really sensitive. That if left alone, you'd get terribly lonely. So my mom lied just to pressure you into coming home? I was perfectly fine on my own. But didn't you post all those friend zone status updates? Stuff like, lonely nights. Heart so empty. Handsome but unloved by my wife." Peeved, I nearly spat out my wine. That was David, he was drunk. Grabbed my phone by mistake. And posted nonsense. I deleted it right away. I had no idea you even saw it. You didn't post it yourself? I felt awful for so long, thinking you were really that sad. When Lily drank, she became completely different from her usual self. Soft and gentle, like a newborn lamb. "Well, it's not too late to know the truth now. We can't go back to how things were before." She suddenly stood up, leaned in close to me. Her eyes bright and sincere, piercing straight into my heart. "Oliver, you're my husband now. And it's my responsibility to be by your side, to take care of you." I was speechless. Inside, waves of emotion crashed over me. Warmth after warmth washing over my heart. But I hadn't fully surrendered yet. After all, this marriage had started as nothing more than a business deal. Her gaze grew deeper, locking onto mine as if seeing straight into my soul. My heart pounded faster and faster. And she kept stoking the fire in my already burning chest. I didn't even realize when it happened. But somewhere along the way, my feelings for her had begun to change. Maybe it was at the wedding, when she caught me dozing off in a corner, still in my tuxedo. Maybe it was when I quietly slipped her a cookie, shielding her as she sneakily ate it. Maybe it was standing shoulder to shoulder with her against the outside world. Or maybe it was those small, genuine moments of care she'd quietly shown me. My wife had somehow become a little more endearing. I sat there, dazed and utterly foolish. "Oliver," she said softly, "I like you. And I believe this, will grow into love over time. What about you? Do you like me?" I didn't know if I liked Lily. But in this moment, I found myself actually looking forward to this marriage. Maybe I could even hope for happiness. I don't know, I shook my head. But I'm willing to try. Then I leaned in and kissed her. I've always been a man of action. And Oliver doesn't hesitate. Lily froze for just a second, then kissed me back. Instantly. Her hands gently wrapped around my neck, deepening the kiss into something slow, tender, and burning. After a long, lingering moment, she finally pulled back, her eyes smoldering with desire. She looked straight into mine and whispered, full of meaning, "Oliver, tonight, I want to become your wife in every way." "Yes," I murmured with a soft smile, scooping her effortlessly into my arms and carrying her toward the bedroom. It was clearly going to be a sleepless night. By Saturday, Grandpa's birthday banquet was in full swing, lively and joyous. My impeccably dressed, elegant mother glided over with a wine glass in hand and poked me lightly in the ribs. "Things with your wife seem to be going quite well lately." I took a sip of wine and just smiled without answering. "Oh, still know how to blush. Do you?" "Mom, stop teasing me, everyone's watching. So embarrassing." "Let me tell you something," she said gently. "This daughter-in-law, your father and I chose her with our whole hearts. You'd better cherish her." "Chose her from financial reports. You mean?" I couldn't help but slip in a jab. "You little brat," she flicked me on the forehead. "Financial reports?" It was her character, her integrity. The Lilly family has always been known for loyalty and deep feeling. What good is wealth? Do we lack money? All your father and I ever wanted was a kind, thoughtful woman who'd stand by you for life. For the first time that day, I truly understood my parents' hearts. "One day, when you become a father yourself, you'll finally get it," she said, shaking her head as she walked away. Lily came over, slipping her arm through mine, and asked softly, "What did your mom say?" "Nothing much, I just realized how happy I really am." She leaned into me, and I held her even tighter. A text popped up from David. "Interview request for Bro Oliver. How's it feel having a wife who actually wants to come home every night?" I smiled, warm and content, and typed back, "Not bad at all." Bonus scene. Lily clung to me tightly, peppering my face with affectionate kisses. My phone screen lit up, a message from Natasha. "Sir, please hurry and get Ms. Lily out the door. If you don't leave soon, you'll miss your flight." I thought back to the first time I met Lily, so distant, so icy. Compared to now, this clingy little love-struck creature, it was like she'd become a completely different person. I struggled to push her back just 2 inches, poking my head out of her suffocating embrace and gasping for air. "Can you go ahead without me? You're hugging me so tight I can't breathe. You're kicking me out? Don't you love me anymore?" No, you're my heart, my liver, 3/4 of my entire life." While sweet-talking her, I seized the chance to yank open the door and gently usher her outside. "Baby, I'll be back soon," she called through the doorway. "Yeah, love you," I replied, matching her tone. The second the door clicked shut, I frantically texted Natasha. "Keep her occupied, longer is better. Big rewards if you succeed." She replied instantly. Last time I walked past the boutique, I spotted their new limited edition bag. "If this works, you're buying it for me." Deal. Night fell, neon lights sliced through the darkness, painting the city in dazzling colors. David sidled up beside me, wine glass in hand. "How long's it been since we last hit the town?" I counted on my fingers with a wry smile. 1 year, 4 months, exactly 487 days. David shook his head in awe. So this is what a woman in love looks like? Remember when she wouldn't come home for half a year? Now she practically wants to tie you to her belt 24/7. Don't remind me, I groaned. I don't even dare push back anymore. The moment she gives me that wounded look, I can't say, no, not even one word. All I want to do is pull her close and kiss her. David muttered under his breath. Yeah, sure, this is you complaining? Why did the air suddenly smell so sickeningly sweet with love? I shook it off. Let's not talk about her tonight. Excitedly, I clinked glasses with David. Lily probably won't be back this week anyway. Let's have some real fun. Lights flashed, music pulsed. And I didn't notice my phone on the table blinking on and off. On and off again. It wasn't until midnight that I finally saw Natasha's messages. Each one ended with an exclamation mark, and jolted me halfway out of my drunken haze. Sir, the plans change. Ms. Lily is coming back tomorrow morning. Correction, she says she won't wait until morning. She's coming back tonight. Are you home? She's getting ready to leave. Where are you? She's looking for you. Are you at the bar? Someone spotted you there. She's on her way to you right now. Run. You're done. Seriously, you're dead meat this time. And I really was done for. Because I just locked eyes with Lily. I had no idea how long she'd been sitting there. Maybe she'd spotted me the moment I walked in. When I turned to look, she was calmly seated among the crowd, even raising her glass with a serene little smile, toasting me from afar. Under the strobe lights, she sat not far away, smiling right at me. But that smile, packed with quiet, terrifying menace. A chill shot from the soles of my feet straight up to the top of my head. She lifted her phone toward me. I grabbed mine, and saw her message. Remember what I told you? Then again, maybe I will. Suddenly, I recalled a conversation we'd had early on. Back when I still thought she was a yandere, I'd nervously asked, "Are you gonna kill me?" And she'd replied coolly, "Then again, maybe I will. You still have time to run," she texted next. I snatched up my jacket and bolted. Lily's long legs were already chasing after me in seconds. For a moment, I felt like the lead in a horror movie. But the farther I ran, the more something felt off. Wait, why am I running? I stopped dead, turned around, and there she was. Lily stood with her arms crossed, smiling at me with unmistakable affection. That's when it hit me. You planned to scare me. What else would it be? She said, stepping closer and gently pressing her palm to my cheek. Did you really think I'd hurt you? You dared to scare me on purpose. Well, I wanted to scare you, she pouted, then threw herself into my arms. You go out without even telling me. Do you know how worried I was? I was scared you'd be upset, I murmured, wrapping my arms around her waist and gazing into her eyes. But aren't you afraid I'll be mad once I find out you tricked me like this? I gently brushed my nose against hers. Then I'll just have to sweet-talk you. Well, I'm mad now, she said, deliberately lowering her gaze. How exactly do you plan to sweet-talk me? How about this? I kissed her lightly on the left cheek. Still mad? Nope, she shook her head. Not yet. All right, then how about this? I kissed her right cheek. Still not over it? Nope, still mad. You're so greedy, I teased. Fine, how about this? I slid my hand behind her neck, leaned down, and kissed her deeply. Lily pulled me closer, until only inches separated us. She looked up at me, her voice dripping with allure. That is barely acceptable. But next time, don't you dare hide things from me again, got it? I worry about you, you know. I know, I murmured. When she looked at me like that, I couldn't refuse her anything. That little game of, you run, I chase. It was just a playful dance between lovers. Because I love her, I willingly, happily lose myself in her.